If you
Uh,
try.
would you kindly give me the Tibetan phrase for a result reason? Start there. What's result reason? Easy schmeezy. You can handle it.
Really good, Sin?
Tre, tak, yang, dak.
Juan says Jeta Yandak.
Um, yeah,
He
that's
wants to
okay. That
know,
sounds kind
he
of
wants to
cool.
know,
That could be
he
true.
wants to know if you need the address to send $100 to.
Great. It's pretty good. That sounds like a correct reason based on the result, and it's not the term that we used. But I like it. What would be a term that doesn't specify whether or not it's correct, Juan?
Don't say
And
correct.
what's another word for rather than dot, which does mean reason, but it's not typically what we have found in this context. What's another word for reason?
Yutsen?
Also can mean a syllogism.
Oh, Tensik?
Tatsi.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. And what did you say result is again?
Yeah, Trevor's result, but Trevran is, let's say,
No,
result.
that's another thing. He says David Dark.
Oh yeah, that's not bad. But if you meld that together with words insight about an alternate word, which not only means reason but also means syllogism, then you would have. That's right.
Trebui Tensik.
Yeah, great. I'll take any of those. Yeah, great. That's
David
good. Great thought. Now, what is it? What is a result reason? Uh, explain or define.
It's when number three it causes number two.
That's perfectly wrong.
No?
In between results.
Number three, yeah, number three is result of number
Of
two. Okay.
Yeah, two should be the proposed quality should be the cause of that result, which is the reason your blessed Drehtak or Yantak Drehtak, as you said earlier, which is great. What example did we use in class of a result reason?
Fire and smoke.
Right. Smoke in a mountain.
Smoke in the, yeah.
Give me a whole syllogism like kind, civilized,
Con-
gentle folk.
Hang on, he's getting serious now.
Holy moly! Brace yourselves.
So thank you. It is considered a mountain covered in smoke. There must be fire because there is smoke.
I like it. Sounds good to me. Okay, good. Yes, a result reason leads to an understanding of the presence of a cause due to the cause and effect relationship of the asserted quality, in this case, fire, and the reason, in this case, smoke. There's smoke there. Cool. Sounds good. So then, how about the Tibetan phrase for an identity reason or a reason based on identity, if you like? Or some other translation we'll come up with later, if you like. La?
Ranching ki tak.
Yeah, great. Ramzin Kitak. I like it. Yeah. So Rangshin Kitak, what is that?
That's when to be one, it automatically means to be the other one.
To be which is to be which.
To be three is to be two.
Okay, that sounds nice. Good. And what example did we use?
To be something made is to be something changing. Sound, yeah. Sound is changing because it's made.
Nice.
Sounds good to me. I like it. Okay, good. Okay. now the Tibetan phrase for a negative reason, and you can also give another name for this type of reason, but let's generally, how about a Tibetan phrase for negative reason? Great.
Mamik Bedak.
That's the alternate one, and I like it. But kindly anonymous wrote in the chat. Oh no, it wasn't. I'm sorry. It was Utpala, of course.
Is it Dak Dak?
Yeah, great. Gakdak.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Gak.
Gakdak is a negative reason. And then the other one that you said, the Mamikbe Dak, what does that mean? You want to try and translate that into something?
Yeah, it's a reason where something is absent or the thing is not observed.
Nice.
Brilliant. Yeah, wonderful. Okay, what example did we use? Oh, sorry. What is it? Or define it, or give me a sense of what exactly is a negative reason.
Any reason your wife is?
It's so
Yeah.
negative. It's all negative. She's so negative.
Something about, are you talking about like if 3 then not 2?
Not too.
Nah,
No.
don't overthink it.
So what are you asking?
I'm asking how you would define, no, we're not at example yet, but just how we define a negative reason. It
Where
may
the
be simpler
present-
than you're thinking.
Where the
Go ahead.
presence of
Yeah.
one thing denies the presence of something else.
Yeah, it's a reason to prove something else there.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Juan got it. It's just a reason that proves something isn't there. That's it. In fact, he's going to say today, I think, generally we could divide all proofs into proofs of something and proofs of the lack of something. And then a result reason and an identity reason are two ways of proving that something that is there. But if you want to prove something isn't there, then you use a negative reason or a mamikbe dak. Okay, what was the example we used?
Again, you were talking about sound, but this time is consider sound is not unchanging because it's made.
Mwah. Beautiful. Sounds good. Gorgeous. You're too good for us. We don't deserve you. Okay. Dr. Geshe Michael,
Right.
I present you with some attempted. I don't know if it's worth looking at. We don't have to look at that. I just for funsies I played with the verse, even though my task was to focus on the explanation.
Yeah. I would read what's he saying? Yeah, a logical statement where the reason is a double, right?
A logical. Okay. Whatever it says. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Is a okay as opposed to is a reason. Okay, would be is a logical.
Yeah. You gotta read it backwards across the second and third line. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. He did a naughty thing where I think he uses tensig. It seems like he uses tensig twice. He uses the same word twice. It seems like he uses it for the drebu above, and he uses it for the rangshin below, but he doesn't specify. He just uses the same word twice.
Does he say I don't know.
We're about to find out.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, the rangshin is a debatable thing here. The word rangshin.
Okay.
You notice he doesn't use rangshin in his commentary.
Right.
So it's a little tricky. Okay.
Yeah.
I take his Rangshin to be the Gyuken. You see what I mean?
You can, yeah, like the factors that cause or something like.
Yeah, yeah. He does not use the word Rangshin. Yeah,
Right. Yeah. Right. Right.
yeah. So whatever various natures the cause may have.
Yes.
Okay. Meaning qualities or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And like everything altogether that's needed for the cause, I guess. I mean, the cause and everything that comes with it or something.
I would say that
Yeah.
all the implications of the cause, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. It seems fairly clear in the commentary, I guess.
Yeah.
I hope.
These 2.5 lines was I'm glad you got the 2.5. The result is
You wrote it for me. Thank you very much.
Let's get rid of that. Yeah. The good can I come out with this? Yeah. Jula, Matsang. Oh, the thing will happen if they are Tsang. The thing will not happen if they are Matsang.
Oh.
I mean,
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
yeah, the result will happen if the Gyus and Kens, if the causes and conditions are complete, Tsang, then
Yes.
the result will occur. And if they are not complete, it will not occur. And that's his definition of the result.
Okay.
It
Okay.
will
Great.
occur if the causes and conditions are complete. It will not occur if the causes and conditions are absent, are not complete.
Okay. Great. Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. I'll fix that. Can we go on?
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
Oh,
And then you get.
I'd like you to, I want, in each case for the next few pages, I have gone and gotten you a classical example, and I'd like you to translate it. Yeah.
Okay. And we used this one already, and so a mountain, consider a mountain pass that has fire. Sorry, excuse me, a mountain pass that has smoke.
Good.
It has fire
Right.
Because it has smoke.
Yeah, and that's a classical JTOC result reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
What
Right.
is the
So
classical? Yeah.
everything involved with the fire, everything that's involved in bringing about smoke should have come about.
We have some expression like that in English, if there's where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Referring to politics usually.
Yeah, right. Awesome. Oh, and then yeah, see, maybe he does cover Zhongshan, and I took it that way. Oh no, did I? I take it back. No,
Okay.
maybe I didn't, because I think he does it in the
Awesome.
next verse. So I guess I took the next Zhongshan. It seemed to me, boss, that sometimes he comments on what came before, and sometimes he comments on what's coming next. And I think in this case, he's commenting on the verse that's coming next.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. Yep. The next things for the correct reason by identity. Rashi Gitayanda. As a reason it's simply by its essence. Chitadawa. Jupche Chade down Rashi Titadawa. The proposed quality is in relation to the in the reason it's been the proposed quality. That's okay. Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then I took the She Sikche Tang Yi Chung and brought it up to here instead.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
On the assumption that that's what he's covering.
Yeah, it's fun to confuse the hypertextures.
Yeah, as you've been saying for years. I think of it every time I do that. I think of you saying that.
This means in the Tibetan, the whole phrase is radically different place on the page. In English, it would come before. In Tibetan, it would come after. So where do you put it when you make a book, bilingual book? That's a question. The Tibetan should come later. In English, it should come first. And hypertexture means some days the AI people will try to connect each Tibetan word to each English word, and they're going to have trouble due to the radical difference in the paragraphs. Yeah. But that's their problem. Function Xuanzang.
And I guess this one, see, this is what I mean, is the last word from that last line was hetu, was tensi. So it kind of seems like like he was saying Dre Bui Densik, but now he's saying Densik Rangshin, and somehow he's using the one word without doubling it to stand for both meanings, to stand both for result reason and identity reason.
Maybe he said reason twice already. He said a reason of, what do you call it? A reason of identity, a reason of cause and effect. And then there's the other one. He didn't say reason. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's just by, yeah. I just want you to read the Dang Jawa across the line, that's all. Yeah. Yutsam Dang Jao. So that's an idiom in Tibetan, right? Rangshin, you could say part, whole, Dang Jao in English, in Tibetan. Part, whole, Dang Jao. The part is connected to the whole.
Okay.
And in Tibetan, you say it part, whole, and connected. You don't say the part and the whole are connected. You don't say that. Okay. So I would read the tongue across the line.
Okay.
And what's the Rangshin Gitayan?
Yeah, so Chen, consider sound mitakte, it is a changing thing, chebe because it's made.
Yeah, and by the way, I just to be orderly, I put a reason after every one. They're going to get more complex. These are the simple ones. They're going to get much more complex. Okay. Each time he describes a kind of reason, I went and got you an example from other logic books. So, because they're going to get more complex. Okay, mami may tangla. Oh, okay. Yeah, when you say mikvah in this context, when you say mamikbet and you say minawa mamikbetak and nanu mamikbetak, this is a reason to prove the presence of something that the other person could normally see, or a reason to prove the presence of something that the other person could not normally see. And a prime example is spirit beings. So there are supposed to be spirit beings in this room. Nangrung means they could be seen by a normal person, like popcorn. Popcorn is nangrung, can appear to a normal person.
Sure.
And then minawa means would not appear to a normal person, like the presence of a spirit being in this room. But there are proofs for both. So you can prove things that do appear to a normal person. You can prove the presence of things that do appear to a normal person. And then you can prove the presence of things that do not appear to a normal person. Okay. And we're interested in the second one, especially with emptiness. Okay. Not with spirits so much. So ma mikpa means to prove the absence of something. Okay. So there's two kinds of reasons to prove the absence of something. Number one, a reason which would prove the absence of something that the other person couldn't normally see anyway. And then secondly, to prove the absence of something that the other person could normally see. Okay. It's not here and they couldn't have seen it anyway. Or it's not here and they should have seen it. Okay. But there are proofs for each. Okay. Here's the example. So they're both mamikbetak. They're both reasons why something's not there. And one is involving something which they couldn't have seen anyway. And the second is involving something which they could have seen normally. Okay? And here's the examples, okay?
I went to here. I'll give it to you.
Okay, here we go. Dun,
Please.
dun, 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 dun. I'm going to give those two reasons and then I'm going to do what I want to do, which is unusual.
Anytime.
Yay.
Wait, that's not it.
Oh, yes, right.
Yeah, here's where you stopped, I think. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, great.
So I'm going to mark that. Ben stopped here.
Cool.
And we'll get into some reasons. I put some reasons here for you. Here's
Sure did.
we'll do them later. Okay. So I wanted to go somewhere for this class. I want to go backwards to something that we had before. And this is line 1 of the most famous book on perception in 2,500 years. This is the first line. Okay. And it's, it's like a mantra in the monastery, in the Geshe course. I must have used it 1,000 times. And then I had this assumption about what it meant. And Ben said, I think it's wrong. And then I was pretty offended and confused. So I went and looked at it. And it's very interesting, to me anyway, because I must have said it 1,000 times on the debate ground. And Ben has a good point. And I thought it would be nice to look at it and see why he has a good point. So I'm going to go through this first. It's the first line of the most famous book on Buddhist pramana ever, on how to perceive things that you can't normally see, which is the key to emptiness. Okay. So you're going to learn a lot, and we won't get past the first line. Okay, so say paksha. Paksha means for example, a direction, or it can mean one wing of a bird. Okay, paksha. And in logic, it has a term. It's translated into Tibetan. And by the way, the translation of Sanskrit logic words into Tibetan was like a LSD trip. They're extremely strange, and no normal Tibetan can understand them at all. They just basically chose words, but they were consistent. They kept it the same for 1,000 years. So paksha means chok. Chok means phyogs. Hayata chanaro chogasa chok means direction, right? And it's an ancient word for the subject under consideration. Okay, the direction. So what is it in take sound? It's changing because it's main. By the way, I'd like to use a different syllogism in this class today. And I took the syllogism from Adam's book, from Adam's last class, because it's better for our purposes today. And let's go look at, here's Adam's syllogism, okay? So Ben, can you read these 3 lines?
Yeah, Tundra Chen, Mitakpa Yinte, Tu Chung Yimbe Chir. So consider the sound of like a conch shell for religious ceremonies.
Yeah. Okay. Sound of a horn, conch horn, shell horn, made from a shell from the ocean. This is a famous example. Take the sound of a conch shell horn. Mitapayente.
It's a changing thing.
It's a changing thing because
It's brought about through like human effort.
good, perfect. Yeah, it's brought about through human effort. Anything which is accomplished through human effort is by definition is changing. It's not going to stay the same. Whether you're talking about cities or countries or dinners, okay, it will not stay the same. Okay, so keep that in mind. So where's the choke here?
Dongja Zhengcha Chichen.
Yeah, Dunga, the
Yeah.
conch shell sound is the subject that we're talking about. In Tibetan and in Sanskrit, it's called the direction. Okay,
Gotcha.
but in English, we call it the subject. Okay, what are we talking about? Dunda. We're talking about a shell. By the way, just drill it slightly and you make a horn out of it. Okay, so and the best ones curl this way, so you can hold your right hand in it, and then the cheaper ones curl the other way, and the curl depends on the hemisphere in which the shell grew because of the spin of the earth. It's very interesting. So you can kind of roughly tell which hemisphere it came from. So he says, let's take, so the subject, choke is the subject. Here is the horn, okay? The shell horn. Chu means quality, dharma.
Dharma.
Okay? Chokchu together means the combination of the thing we're talking about and the quality which we all agree it has, which is the reason.
Mm-hmm.
The quality which we already agree. It's the second part that we're fighting about. We say, let's take sound, it's changing because it's made. That assumes that the listener agrees already that sound is made. He's just not sure if it's changing or not. Okay, so when you say 1, 2, 3, chokchun means 1 plus 3, which he already agrees to by definition. Take sound, it's changing because it's made. When you say because it's made, you're going to say something which he already agrees to. He already recognizes that sound is made. He's not sure if it's changing yet. Okay, so chokchun means the first of the 3 relationships. 1 is 3. Right? Remember? Susum Tsang. If the 3 relationships are there, it's a good reason. The first relationship is 1 is 3. 1 is 3. What's the second relationship? If 3, then 2. What's the third relationship? If not 2, not 3. Okay. So chokchun means 1 plus 3. Okay. In our case here, the conch shell is, the sound from the conch shell is made by
human effort.
Made by human effort. That's 1 plus 3 in our reason here, in our logical statement here. The conch shell sound was produced by human effort. Somebody blew into the horn. Okay, that's accepted by the other guy. He does not accept the proposal, the proposition. He doesn't accept yet that conch shell sounds are changing, impermanent. He doesn't accept that yet, but he does accept our reason. He accepts that the conch shell sound was produced by human effort. Okay, so chokcha, by the way, the definition of a good logical reason is defined in the first 9 syllables of this book.
Mm-hmm.
The 3 relationships are presented in 9 syllables. 1, 2, 3,
Right. Yeah,
9. It's unbelievable.
That's really cool.
In a line and a half, which in the Sanskrit is half a line. Okay.
Yeah.
He defines a good reason. He defines a good logic. Good logic means relationships are there. 1 is 3, if 3, 2, if not 2, not 3. Okay. He He defines it in half a Sanskrit line. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So Chokche refers to the first one. The first word of the next line is good logical reason. So what's between the Chokche in this verse and the beginning of the next line should be the other two relationships. Got it? Chokche means the first relationship. Tensig means it's a good reason. Whatever's between them, goddamn, it's got to be the second and third relationships expressed in only 5 syllables. Okay, try that in English. It's impossible. Okay, all right. So, Deche Keba has to describe the second and third relationships. Okay, if 2, then 3. If not 2, not 3. Just those few. It's really 4 syllables. Deche Keba. Okay, they have to be describing. Kaba means they're describing some kind of necessary relationship. If it's this, it must be this. If it's this, it must be this. And you can think of it in set theory. If the two sets are equal and one is laying above the other, then we say kaba. Cups and all things which you can use as cups and cups. It's equal. The set is equal. However many are in this set is equal in this set. We say kaba. This set covers this set. This is cups. This is all the things in the universe you can use to drink water from or something. Okay, and it's exactly the same number of things, okay? But sometimes kaba can mean subcategory. Red cups and all the things in the world you can use to drink water from. Okay, red cups are still kaba. They are still covered by the general category, cups. Cups covers all things you can drink water from in the universe. And it also covers all red things you can drink, okay, from the, okay, got it? So kaba relationship means this lower one is part of this one or all of it. Okay, that's what kaba means. Okay. If something is in this group, red cups, it's automatically in the group called cups. Okay. Does the reverse hold true?
No.
No, not necessarily.
Just because you're a cup doesn't mean you're a red cup. It could be equal kabas, all things that you can use to drink water from, and all cups in the universe. Sometimes it's equal. Sometimes this is smaller, this is bigger. Okay, got it? Okay, so here, in our example, take the sound of a horn. It's changing or impermanent because it was made through human effort. Okay. Who's the kyabarer and who's the kyabai? Which set's bigger?
Changing.
Mitagba.
All changing things. And then it has changing things that were produced through human effort and changing things that were produced not through human effort, like the weather or something. Okay, so the coverer, the bigger set, or at least equal set, is all changing things. Okay, and the thing that's covered is the reason. It was produced by human effort. Okay, got it? So now the word they in the first line here means what? That. Okay. And cha means without the S.
Part.
No, that's cha. Cha means part. Part. And for 25 years I took it to mean the part of the chokcha. The part of the first relationship. 1 is 3. Okay. The part would refer to 3. De cha would mean its part. If you read it, chokchu de cha, 1 plus 3, or a part of 1 plus 3, which would be 3, for example. Okay? I always took it that way. For 25 years, I took it that way. Ben's like, I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. Then I'm like, it really upset me. So I always took it that way. So what's the cha and what's the day? Okay. Don't forget that these 4 syllables, Deche Kyaba, are supposed to describe the second and third relationships. Okay. So what Ben was saying, Geshe, who's the Kyaba? In our example here, here's our, okay, let's take the sound of a conch horn, okay? It is a changing thing or impermanent, okay? Because,
It's brought through.
yeah, because it is produced through human. Okay, got it? So if I say chokcha, right? Chokcha, the subject and the quality that we already believe. What is it in this case? That sound is produced
Produced
through
by human effort.
chokcha, the first of the 3 relationships. Let's put a number here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so what's the first of the 3 relationships? If something is a conch horn sound, it must be produced through human effort. What's the second relationship that's required for this to be a good reason? If 3, then 2. If it's produced through human effort, it must be a changing thing. Okay, that's supposed to be expressed in these 4 syllables. Deche Kappa. Okay, one has to be a bigger set than the other. Between 2 and 3, one has to be a bigger set than the other. Which one of them is bigger?
2.
2 is bigger. That's what Ben was saying. And I'm like, wait a minute. He's right. You know, it's very irritating. He's very irritating. Yeah, the bigger thing is 2. Okay. So if it's supposed to be the bigger thing, which Kyaba, okay, but here it says it's covered by a part of something. So okay, who's the part? It's the part Ben. You ready? It's the part of the assertion.
Yes. Right.
Okay?
Part of
You're
the
right.
droop jaw.
Okay. I mean, once in 1,000 years, you know, a monkey bangs on a typewriter, they will come out with one of Shakespeare's plays. But yeah. So the day, okay, Ben, the day
Yes.
has to be, in my opinion, and I agree with you, it's the drupja. It's the drupja. It's 1 plus 2. It's 1. It's what the other guy's trying to prove. The sound of a horn is changing. Okay. And what's part of that? What's
The
part of
drupja.
2? Yeah. 2. Changing. Okay. Because changing is what has to cover here. Changing has to cover produced by human effort. Changing has to be fatter or bigger or at least equal to number 3, which is produced by human effort. So if anybody is the coverer or the kabarer here, it has to be 2. And Ben's correct. I always thought it was 3. Okay. Okay, got it? You all right? You all right so far?
Yes.
You all right so far, right? 2 has to cover 3. Okay. And 2 is part of something else. He said cha. Okay. And that means part of the assertion. What's the assertion here? In numbers, what's the assertion?
1 is 2.
Yeah, 1 is 2. What's the other guy trying to prove? 1 is 2.
1 is 2.
What's his reason?
3.
3.
Because 3.
It's 3. 1 is 3. What's his implication? If it's 3, listen, if it's 3, it's got to be 2. If it's a voluntary sound, it has to be a produced sound. Okay, changing sound. Okay, got it?
Mhm.
So I like it, Ben. It's kind of exciting. I mean, Chokcha always refers to 1 plus 2.
Mhm.
Sorry.
3.
1 plus 3. And then, so the day doesn't refer to Chokcha at all.
Mhm.
Okay? Normally, in Tibetan, day follows what it refers to.
Yeah.
If you say Mikshe day, it means those eyeglasses.
Sure.
When you say those after the thing in Tibetan. You say eyeglasses those. Whatever came just before those is what you're talking about when you say those
Uh-huh.
in Tibetan,
Yeah.
but not here.
Yeah.
It's kind of radical.
Well, I guess
Okay.
maybe could it be because tud in the Sanskrit is not as strict in that way, even though te is a very correct translation of tud?
Well, now I'm gonna play with you, okay?
Oh, please.
This first line has been spelled like different by every single scholar in the last 1,000 years.
Oh,
That's
whoa.
not how I learned it. That's not how I learned this line. It was Deche, D-E apostrophe I-che. And sometimes we didn't have to say che, we could say cha. Decha kabayi. Okay, so here's a question, Ben.
Yeah.
If the day is D-E apostrophe I, that's going to change things. If it's not instrumental, che, if it's cha, it's going to change things. Now,
Right.
let's go on a trip through history. Dun, 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 dun. Here is Sarah Jetson, the great master of Sarah J, and the teacher of the great master from Sarah May. And I don't know, he says, De Che.
Right.
He quotes it correctly.
That's our way. Yeah.
Yeah, well, ours. By the way, I took it out of the Tengyur, okay?
Okay.
I took it out of the Tengyur. So supposedly it's correct.
Oh, that's right.
Here is who is this? Kachen Chambatugden. Kachen Chambatugden. This is a great scholar. Now he says, where is it? Chokche Deche Kyabe. He uses the same spelling, right?
Yes.
Here's the auto commentary written by
Master
Dharmakirti.
Dharmakirti.
That's what an auto commentary is.
Yeah.
He spells it differently. He says Deche. That's okay. And he wrote his own commentary about his own book. Okay. One of them's probably wrong. All right.
But he wrote it in Sanskrit, no?
He did.
Right. Yeah, we'd have to see that.
Yeah, we're gonna get there.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Here's Choni Lama, who's normally extremely dependable, and I'm in love with him. And every time I think about doing another book, I think about him.
And he used the instrumental.
Yeah, and he didn't say Dei Yi. He said Dei.
No, he didn't. Yeah.
Okay.
Nominative.
Here's Sei no Tashi, the great logician that wrote the Key to Emptiness. Okay. Deiche Kyaba, he agrees. Here is Kachen Lochen Supa, the great master from Tashi Tumbo in my time. Deiche Kyaba, he's okay. First Dalai Lama, Gendon Dru, okay. He likes my interpretation. And he's the only one. Okay. And his interpretation is radical. It's totally radical. He reads it the way I read it. And we'll see when we get there, we'll get there. Okay, there's the opinions. So to go back, and by the way, if you're a real scholar, if you're a real mixed nuts, You should look it up in 5, 6 different books and see what they say. And it's very slow. It takes many years to finish a book, and it's totally accurate. And nobody's going to do that. Nobody, except mixed nuts. Let's go to the Sanskrit.
Yeah, I'm
See what we
sure.
got from the Sanskrit. Okay. So luckily we have the Sanskrit. Paksha dharmas. Okay. Chokche. Chokche. Okay.
Yeah.
Relationship number 1. Paksha, the side, the wing, the group, the object under consideration. Chuchen, sushi, what we're arguing about, the thing that we're arguing about. Classically, it's sound. Here's the sound of a conch shell. Okay, he calls it simply the direction, paksha. And then he says dharma, which means the quality of the paksha, which means it is produced by human effort. 1 + 3 in Sanskrit is called paksha dharma. The quality of the side. By the way, it's also important in Gendon Drup's interpretation that paksha can mean an argument, a position, choke,
Right.
choke, shen choke, my position, your position. Okay, choke can mean a side in an argument. Okay, when you say take sides in an argument, it's choke. Okay, so he says, that's another. Then, okay, the day is definitely not possessive or genitive, because in the Sanskrit, it's nominative. Tad means day. It doesn't mean day, which is how I learned it in the debate ground. But who uses day also?
Gendon Drup.
I don't know if I believe it.
Uses day with an apostrophe I in his auto commentary. Okay. All right.
Somebody translated it that way. as well.
Yeah, I'd like to
far.
see if that's true.
Yeah. Then ansha means cha.
Yeah.
Ansha means part of a whole. Ansha. And here is in the instrumental. Ena is the instrumental ending by the cha, through the cha. Okay. And the Tibetan translator has correctly added S, which is instrumental in Tibetan. Cha means part. Che means by the part. Okay, big difference. I learned a choche de che. I learned a dei che in the debate ground. Okay, dei che. Okay. So what that means is the part of something has to be number 2. And that was what bugged Ben. And I thought it was crazy, but when I thought about it, it was disturbing. Okay. Cha means part, but part of what? So the answer there is, who's supposed to be doing kya? Is it 1, 2, or 3? Who's supposed to be covering the other one?
2.
Yeah, 2. Because if it covers it, then it's necessarily what you said, 3. If to be created by human effort means that it had to be changing, then the kabarer, the coverer, is 2. It has to be 2. So cha here, since it's in the instrumental before the verb covered by, it has to be referring to 2. Okay. And then what is it a cha up? He didn't say covered by number 2. He said covered by the part. And it's very irritating. Okay. And I take it, Ben, to be the part of the Drup Ja, which is our assertion, which is 1 + 2. What's a part of 1 + 2?
2, the Drup Jeche.
And 2 has to be the coverer of 3. And why would Geshe insist on using the conch shell sound for this discussion rather than the most famous logical statement of all time? Why?
Because 2 and 3 are equal in the most logical statement?
Yeah, it's too confusing when 2 and 3 are equal. I wanted to choose a logical statement where the covering was obvious, red cups and cups. Okay, produced by human effort and a changing object. Because there's produced by a human effort and there's not produced by human effort, but produced. So this covers both. Changing covers both produced by a human effort and produced by other kinds of effort. Okay, so I wanted to have a case where 2 and 3 were obviously different in extent. Okay, cool. So that you could see who's covering who. Who's covering who? 2 covers 3. 2 has to cover. That's what bothered Ben. And the minute he said it, I started to freak out because I was like, by the way, if you noticed, I just went on into class last time and tried to ignore him. But it bothered me when I got home. I was like, I think he has a point. Okay, got it? That's all. That's all. But during Ben, I went to see if anybody ever just went through what we just went through, and nobody ever did. Only Gendon Drup. And then his interpretation is off the wall, but maybe correct. Okay, completely radically different. Okay, and I don't know. Maybe if you want some fun, then how about I give you that as homework? Try to figure out Gendon Drup's sentence. Are you in the mood?
Okay, yeah, I am very much so.
Okay, it's not easy.
Okay, that's great. It's good for me. I like
And
it.
I capitalized the parts that I thought were really important.
That's kind of you.
It starts with sushi. Okay,
So
we got 5 minutes, right? We got 4.
We do.
Let's read
4
the
minutes.
first. Let's read some pieces of the first. Let's make sure you know all the pieces, and then you put it
Okay.
together. It's not easy. It's very radical. What's sushi?
4 debates.
No, Geshe. It's the basis of argument, and that's an old word for chichen. Okay, sushi,
Okay.
chichen. It means number one. It means number
Of
one.
course.
In English, it's sushi is, hey, what the hell are we arguing about?
Okay. Yeah,
Please,
like
what
sound,
the
for
hell?
example.
And that means arguing. Okay, so sushi,
Okay.
and here he gives it, ja.
Right.
Okay,
Sound.
let's take something that we want to argue about. For example, da, sound.
Mhm.
You can see he's going to the classical argument, which I would not have preferred because the kebabs are equal and it's confusing. Okay,
Right.
sushi, double chichen. Let's take sound. Okay, it is not choke, senipa. And I told you, consider that baksha can mean sushi.
The direction.
Sushi, right.
What you're arguing about. The word choke by itself, not choke just choke. Okay, baksha can refer to what you're arguing about. The side, okay, the thing you're arguing about. Okay. So he says, let's take sushi. What's that?
Debate.
What you want to debate
chichen.
about. Yeah,
Baksha.
what you want to debate about, which is sound. Let's consider sound. Choke, something to fight about. Senyipa, real. Mayan.
It's not really something to fight about?
Yeah, it's not really the object of the debate here.
Huh.
This is the first big teacher. And he's radical. This thing is radical. Normally he's quite mild. Okay. He says, choke, senipa, mayan. It's not a real subject to talk about because the Jubcha
Sound is changing.
Yeah, which is the assertion. What we're trying to prove. 1 plus 2.
Yeah,
1 plus
right.
2. Madrupe, Larotu is a way in Tibetan to say before you prove it. In
Yeah.
Tibetan, you say before you don't prove it. But in English, you say before you prove it. Okay. He says, when you say let's take sound, you already have a problem because you cannot take sound. And then we're like, why? And he says, it's not a real subject to debate about. And then we say, why? And he says, because it already existed before you proved your assertion.
Whoa. Okay. All right.
Okay. Before
Yeah.
your assertion, before you proved that sound was changing, it was already there. Therefore, it's not choke. It's not an opinion. It's a fact. Okay.
Right.
That's where.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's what's going, Ben. He's saying choke. As soon as you say choke, you are saying somebody's side.
Yeah.
When
So
when you refer to sound as the object we're debating about, that's okay. But as soon as you say you call sound a position, paksha, then you have a trouble because then you've established something before the proof is finished. You haven't proven it yet. How can it be part of a proof in process if it was already, say, my dripping out to drip sin means, hey, that existed a long time ago. It's not a paksha. It's not something to be used in a proof because it was there a long time before anybody made a proof. This is the Mr. Gendon Droop's position. It's very radical. Okay.
it is.
And he gets more radical. By the way, and then the other guy comes back with the first line of Dharmakirti.
Right.
Okay. And then he comes back with Maybe.
Okay. No problem.
Okay. And he says the child refers to the Chukchur, which was GMR's old position.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So, okay, but you're going to figure out the big letters here, okay?
I will.
Okay, good
Or I
luck.
will definitely try.
Impossible.
Thank you.
Yes, far
Thanks for-
out. Well, thanks for admitting I didn't understand it for 20 years. I don't know.
No, yeah, thanks for taking the time. You didn't say that. I rewatch these videos every time. You said you would go back and research it and get back to me is definitely what you said. And I
Yeah.
appreciate you taking the time. I was frustrated and stuck, and you did research for me, and I'm very grateful that you're willing to do that for
Yeah.
me. Thank you.
By the way, I think there's a way you could read it my old way and still get away with it. But let's see what this person here says.
All right. We'll see if you can make me get the first big teacher to help you.
Yeah, yeah. All right, Gewadi, see you later.
Yeah, boss. Thank you for a great night.
Wow, we didn't
Thank you.
get it.
Thank you, Ben. Thanks, everybody. Stay tuned for class with Mr. Word.
Woo! Stay tuned for Monday with Geshe Michael. Oh no. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you,
Happy-
Geshe.
Thank you.
Bye.
Ciao.
Take it away, Word.
Thanks again. Thank you, Ben.
You actually irritate me more than Kramer, but I'm not sure. It's kind of a toss-up. Okay.